The Spanish announce table.
All right, now let's talk about the main event. Like I said, this was a last-second addition, a little bit of change of the card, maybe to COVID. It is a AEW World Heavyweight Championship match between champion Jon Moxley taking on the challenger, the Mad King himself, the best promo in pro wrestling. I don't care. At me if you want, but you're wrong. Eddie Kingston. And this was a physical fucking match, wasn't it?
It was. And I forgot that last week we forgot to mention that he was wearing a damn, was he wearing a Bo Jackson?
Yeah, Royals throwback, powder blue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kansas City.
KC, baby. Yeah.
Bo knows. This was great. I like that they also explained in the commentary about Kingston's ring gear, because I was just thinking, I was like, what the fuck is this guy wearing? I was all excited for this match, and then I was like, okay, that makes sense. And they explained the pacing and all that. Like they told a good backstory. These guys worked well together because of their history. And then I was surprised with the ending beatdown. I didn't think this was going to continue on. So to see that, like, well, Moxley's going to come back after these guys, so we're going to get this go around a little bit with Kingston in the spotlight. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, I love it. Again, like I said, I've been the biggest fan of Eddie Kingston for, as long as I've been aware of him. Like I said, again, I think he does the best promo. It's the most believable. If you don't believe me, go watch the last BTE where he cuts a promo on a cookie and it almost makes people cry. Like, he just does awesome stuff. And I know that was a rib at WWE because at the Performance Center, they make you cut promos on inanimate objects. So they're like, here's a broom, cut a promo on a broom. But like, Eddie Kingston really fucking can. And so anyhow, if we're peeking behind the curtain, I think this is
they wanted him to coach, which would be amazing,
but I love him. You know what I mean? I don't want to see him through another version of a wrestler. I want to see him. Right. If we're peeking behind the curtain, I think they're calling an audible because Lance Archer either has COVID or got in contact with someone who does have COVID, and so he can't be on television for the next 2 weeks.
Makes sense, because I was wondering, I was like, what's up with the FTW? I thought they were like...
Yeah. And so I think we're inserting Eddie Kingston's group with Taz's group since Lance Archer can't fill that role.
I'm calling them the FTW. That's what I'm calling them.
FTR versus FTW. Fuck it.
Yeah,
F you.
Yeah.
But this match was so fun, and this is why I liked it. Eddie Kingston is like he's at the best part of his career when his body is at its absolute worst. And I just love it. It's like that old veteran where he's on his last hurrah. And like, did you ever see the movie Rocky? It was Rocky
Foley.
6. Yeah, he's kind of Foley. He's very much kind of like Foley. But I was thinking of Rocky 6, not Rocky 5 with Tommy Morrison. Rocky 6, when he comes back and he takes on Antonio Tarver. And it's like, he still has it mentally, and he can obviously still sell a fight, but he's just not there, and he's going to lose a decision to the in shape, in their prime fighter. Like, that's Eddie Kingston. Maybe even a better analogy is what you just said, Mick Foley, where it's his body's shot, and he's been doing this, like you said, 18 years.
Which it never was the best thing to begin with, but now he's beat it up. He also, he's even mentioned that he's eating a little better now than he was.
Mm-hmm. But he still looks like a sack of yogurt. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
he said that's why he wasn't in WWE all this time. Like, he'd been talked to, but they were kind of like, like,
you're fat.
Kind of fat. But you're right. Now he's hearing everybody's like, this is the fucking guy. This is the guy. This is the guy. And
do 60 minutes. And he's like, I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, do 60 minutes. Like, I got 10. I got a solid 10.
Let me get 5 dudes.
Yeah.
Let me get 5 guys to help me out.
Yeah. I also like the pacing of the match where it started off, because one thing I didn't mention is early on, Eddie Kingston comes to the ring, kind of gives you a backstory of him and Moxley's career where he's like, me and him were cut from the same cloth, and then he went to go be an entertainer while I was still a fighter.
Yep.
And I loved how Jon Moxley, it didn't take him but 5 seconds to walk out.
He was
walking out with a purpose.
Like, oh, how dare you.
Yeah, face to face. They get separated by refs. Then we get to the match. And Tony Schiavone, I believe, was the one who did the main commentary here, was talking about how they respected each other because they faced each other in the past. And then they just get to this forehead to forehead. Like, you think you're better than me? You're fucking not. And then now we're getting into the physicality. The chops, even though I'm not a huge fan of just let me get hit, let me hit you kind of thing. For whatever reason, this time it worked because it felt like one-upsmanship.
If we still had sound clips, I was going to get Shivani was like, I'm digging this, man. Like when they were doing that. And for what it's worth, Kingston's chops were winning, dude. His were so hot, man. They were just whap. Just
and he got Moxley in the collarbone area. That
God, was so bad. He was just drilling him. He was every bit of force with that.
So great. What we see here is Jon Moxley essentially very similar to how he beat Brody Lee in the sense of, I can't pin this motherfucker, so I'm going to have to make him submit. Chokes him out. Ref calls it. Then post-match, that's when we get the Lucha Bros attacking Jon Moxley, which then, long story short, I keep saying that tonight, but you get what I'm saying. Will Hobbs comes out. Darby Allin comes out. Taz. Ricky Starks comes out. What I liked the most was the sell job from Eddie Kingston, where he went unconscious, right? And for those watching the video, you see me doing the air quotes. So when he comes to and he's back to consciousness, he blames the ref, where he's like, "What the fuck did you do?
Yeah,
I didn't quit." Like, he was pushing him around as Jon Moxley's getting beat up by the Lucha Bros, and he's saying, like, you should have stopped that.
Well, and he was still out of it. Like he tried to fight back wobbling, and he fell down again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The selling from Eddie Kingston was top notch. Post match, that's what I enjoyed the most. Besides that Ricky Starks spear on Darby Allin. Jesus Christ. Darby Allin, I think, wants to kill himself. Like, dude, everything he does is too dangerous.
It was done so well, and the angle was such that, like, I didn't realize he was, like, in range and able to pull off a spear on him, and it just happened so fast. I was like, God damn, he just speared him out of his fucking pants, man. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, I thought that was the move of the night, of the entire.
That made Ricky Starks
show.
Look like a badass, which he already, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he already is. Absolute Ricky Starks is absolute awesome. That's what, I always like to look to the future because AEW just excites me, and I get energized watching it because the 2 hours feels like 20 minutes. It doesn't feel droning. It just, what the fuck? That was it? I want more, But going into the future, Ricky Starks, Scorpio Sky, TNT Championship, that's what I want to fucking see. Those two motherfuckers, Scorpio Sky saying I'm the best pure athlete, Ricky Starks saying I'm absolute Ricky Starks. Let's see who the better man is for the championship right there.
And that's such a great tag time, because he's like, I'm absolute sex appeal. I'm absolute muscle. I'm absolute good look. Like, all of it, right? You just absolute everything.
Well, and he's such an asshole. Yeah, and he's such an asshole to where, like, when he did the spear and he got up, all of these badasses. This is another little detail that I loved post-match. Was, you had Eddie Kingston choking the life out of Jon Moxley. You had the Lucha Bros putting the boots to Will Hobbs. Darby Allin just got taken out, so he's selling the ribs. And you have Ricky Starks do this, like, Vogue model pose. It was like, what the fuck? It reminds me of Mortal Kombat, where, you had Sub-Zero and Scorpion and Liu Kang, and then Johnny Cage with his fucking sunglasses over here looking like Mr. Hollywood. Like, that's what he feels like in AEW, where it's all these badass, murder row kind of villainous people, and he's like, hey, huh? I'm pretty fucking cool. And you're like, you are, but you're also a dickhead, Ricky Starks is awesome.
That's great. Yep.
All right, so that was Dynamite. Another solid show. Really looking forward to next week. I didn't write down what the matches are, but I know they got some big things planned. They did announce that they're going to do a celebration of Jericho, the 30 years of Chris Jericho. So I'm excited for that coming up soon. And then obviously on their horizon, they have their 1 year anniversary show on October 7th. So love it, AEW. Love it.
The Spanish announce table.